Hello.
Hello, Dr. May. Welcome to the Ask MomRN Show.
Great to be here.
Well, Dr. May, what advice can you offer to those of us who have set our New Year's resolutions? Everybody's, wanting to lose weight and have resolved to get into shape and exercise more. So what advice do you have for us so that we can do that?
I think that a lot of people set resolutions that are just too hard to sustain. They're all about what you can't have and sort of punishing yourself for eating. What I think really works for people is to learn how to eat what you love what you eat, and do what you love. So starting with eat what you love, if you can keep in mind simple principles of balance, variety, and moderation, you can really have the foods you love without feeling like you're going to go overboard. So for example, rather than having a bagel or donut for breakfast, maybe a variety of foods like fresh fruit, yogurt, and whole grain cereals will leave you feeling a little more satisfied and give you that sustained energy level that you need to get through the morning. And of course, we all hear about moderation, but moderation really means having the things that you love in a reasonable portion. So, for example, soda lovers, rather than feeling like they have to give up their favorites, these new Coca-Cola mini cans are perfect because they've got a portion-controlled amount so that you really get to enjoy your favorite flavors.
Well, Dr. May, what is the eat, repent, repeat cycle?
Well, I'm a yo-yo dieter in the distant past, and for me, the eat, repent, repeat cycle was all about overeating and then paying penance, dieting, restricting, exercising too much, and then, of course, since I couldn't sustain that, I would repeat that cycle over and over and over again. Now what I do is eat what I love, but I also really try to love what I eat. So if I'm going to have chocolate, rather than sitting down with a big bag in front of the TV and eating it without even noticing, I'll have one little piece of my favorite kind. Break it off, really savor the aromas, the flavors, allow it to melt in my mouth. I'll let those flavors linger before I take that second bite. I find that I eat a lot less, but I enjoy it a lot more. And I do that with my exercise too. In the old days of yo-yo dieting, it was all about exercising to punish myself for eating too much or to earn the right to eat. But I think we need to think about exercise the way we did when we were a kid. Nobody had to force us to go outside and play. So what do you love to do? What would you look forward to? Whether it's ice skating or maybe playing soccer with your kids or putting your shoes on and taking a walk with your best friend or even putting your iPod on and dancing in the living room. It's really about finding things that you enjoy that don't feel like a chore.
So you recommend mindful eating but not depriving ourselves of the things that we enjoy, and then finding a way to put fitness into our lives of doing things that we already like to do instead of forcing ourselves to maybe go to the gym or do exercises that we hate.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So that you eat what you love, but you love what you eat mindfully and do what you love so that you actually look forward to it.
Well, what are the top 3 things that we can do to help us stick to our resolutions this year and stay healthy in 2011?
Well, set small goals, things that really feel achievable to you, and practice them on a consistent basis. We're going to make mistakes, but every mistake is a lesson. At least you learn what doesn't work. So when you set small goals, practice them consistently, and learn from your mistakes, you gradually change your behavior in a way that leads to long-term lifestyle changes.
Well, you were a yo-yo dieter you talked about earlier. How did you overcome that?
Well, for a long time I thought there was something wrong with me. I just thought, if I could just find the right diet or have enough willpower, I could finally stick to it. But then I went into my medical practice and I heard one patient after the other tell me exactly the same story. And I realized that probably the problem wasn't me, but diets themselves that don't work. So that's really when I started to focus on trying to eat what I love and love what I eat instead of deprive and restrict and obsess about food.
Well, and so many people this time of year, and throughout the year really, but especially with New Year's resolutions in January, start a new diet. But why do you think that most diets fail?
I think that we start with all this enthusiasm and excitement for change, but then we pick changes that are really not changes at all. They're about throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So we go from one extreme of overeating to the other extreme of depriving ourselves of our favorite things. That's not sustainable. So ultimately, we've got to find that middle place where we can do the things that we love on a regular basis and keep it up throughout the entire year.
Well, Dr. Michelle May, I am very grateful to you for the advice that you've offered us today. And where can our listeners find out more about you and what you do?
amihungry.com is our website, so they can find free articles and download the first chapter of Eat What You Love, Love What You Eat, and learn more about how to take a more sustainable, mindful approach to their lifestyle change.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Have a great day.
You too.